Okay, first we're gonna try a fun baseline test. So what I want you to try is just from a standing position, go ahead and sit down. And if you need to hold on to something or you need to brace yourself, that's fine. Just take note of how many places you need to brace yourself. And then from a sitting position, I want you to get back up and just take note of how many points of contact you need help with in getting up. So for me, it would be something like this. For some people, you would have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's just use that as our baseline test. Tap to your left, tap to the back, bend your torso, and I want you to see if you can bring that leg up and balance using your abs. Let's do that 7 more times for a total of 8. Bend your knee, tap to the side, bend over, tap back, and bring that knee up. That's 2. So bend your knee, heel taps to the front, toe taps to the side, in the back, and up. Let's do 4 more. Okay, so we're working on balance here. That's very important as we age. Tap back. And I think we have 2 more. You should be feeling some warmth in that right leg. And up, good job. Shake out both legs. Okay, so put all your weight now onto your left leg. And we're gonna just do the same thing. Sometimes if you need help, extra help with balancing, you can hold your arms out here, or what you can even do is hold on to the wall. So what it would look like holding onto the wall, or you can hold a dowel or even a chair. So you would just bend that left leg, tap heel in the front, and to the side, and to the back. Use your abs, pull that knee up. If you can do it without holding something, that's great. If you need to hold something, that's fine for now. So let's go 7 more. Tap, tap, tap. Here, tap, tap. Now, here. From the front, this is what it looks like. Tap. And just pay attention to your range of motion. If you can't because your knee is sore, that's fine. I think we're on 5. And tap, tap. Sometimes picking up focus point helps that balance. Let's do 2 more. You should feel some warmth in the left leg. Keep your core locked in tight. That'll help with your balance. Keep your toes spread out. That'll also help with your balance. Again, if you want, you can hold a dowel right here for balance. Okay, good. So go ahead and if you want to do a couple of more sets on each side for balance practice, that's great. If not, this practice is meant to be 5 to 10 minutes, so it's very doable. Get your resistance bands. You can use 1 above the knee to start, but I'm going to show you the option for 2. So you would put 1 above your knee, 1 below your knee. And what we're going to do is just a wall sit. So I want you to aim for 1 minute as your goal. And what we want is a 90-degree angle right here where your knees are. So let's aim for 30 seconds to a minute. And what we're doing here is we're actively driving our knees out against the bands to activate that glute medius. That glute medius is often weak because we're sitting on it all day. So actively driving your knees out, making sure your knees are not collapsing, drawing in your core. So your lower back should be pressed up against the wall, making sure you stack your hips, your ears above your shoulders, above your hips. We're at 35 seconds right now. If you need a rest, that's fine. Do these every day as your warm-up. They'll get your legs nice and warm. We're at 45 seconds. Making sure you stack your ears over your shoulders. If you can't go for a minute, just go as long as you can and just write it down. And we're at a minute. Good. Okay, next grab your 5-pound dumbbells. We're gonna do a split stance. So choose a leg to always start with. For me, I like to always start on my left. So you're gonna put your left foot in the front, put your right foot back, and all we're gonna do is squat up and down. Go ahead and play around with the width between your feet. You want it to be shoulder sort of lined up with your shoulders, so wide enough where you're not walking on a tightrope. Wide enough width-wise and lengthwise that's comfortable for you. If you don't start off with a large range of motion, that's fine. We can just progress. Spread your toes out. And we'll do 10 to 20 reps. I think we're on, let's say 6. Over time, what you're gonna do is put more weight on your front foot as you progress and get better, and just use that back toe to balance. But for now, all we're gonna do is that back foot just lift the heel off the ground. Keep your core in tight, keep your shoulders back, your lats locked. You wanna think about good posture, so stacking your ears over your shoulders. I think we're at 10, so we'll do 15. Okay, and this is what the other side looks like. So feet width is shoulder width apart. And play around with the distance between your 2 feet. Let's do 15, spreading out your toes. 14, driving up through the heel so you can feel it in your glutes. 12. Keep your core in, that means belly button is pulled in. Think about drawing that lowest rib down towards your pelvis. The ears are stacked over your shoulders. Do 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. And go ahead and do to strengthen your rear deltoids and your lats. So what I did was I used a resistance band and I tied a knot here so you can put it in your door. Maybe put it about chin level. And then what you're gonna do is sort of just equal out the tension on both sides. You're gonna grab it so that your thumbs are pointing up and put your feet shoulder width apart. And what you're gonna do is make a W with your arms. So using your lats and your rear deltoids, the back of your shoulders to pull this back. So this should help strengthen your shoulders. We're not gonna lift the arms up very high to aggravate it. If this is painful, I just want you to do one side. So the one side would look like this. Sort of making a W with the angle of your elbow. The other side would just look like this. So going slow on the way back, slow on the way here. If you can do 2, that's even better, keeping your core locked in. The further away you step from the door, the harder it's gonna be because the tension is gonna be harder. And we're just gonna pull back slowly, hold, and then slowly back to our starting point. Keep your core locked in. That means your belly button is drawing in. Think about your lowest rib drawing down towards your pelvis just to keep that core locked in. We wanna strengthen your core and your glutes to support your back. Let's do about 15 of these. Your shoulders and your back should feel nice and warm. We're creating a W. So you should think about pulling this back with your lats and the back of your shoulders. So elbows and hands move back at the same rate. Your thumbs are pointing up and towards the back. Let's do 5 more. Core locked in. 3, 2, 1. Of glute bridges, and then 1 set of dead bugs for our core. If you can do 2 or 3 sets of each, that's even better. But the whole goal in a short exercise, even if it's only 1 set, is to start the exercise session and be able to finish it. And if that means 5 minutes, that's great. That's 5 minutes more than we would have done anyway. So our glute bridge is gonna look like this. You're driving your knees out against the band this way, placing the weight on your feet, and you're just gonna use your glutes to squeeze your pelvis towards the ceiling. Now, this exercise is only dangerous for your back if you hyperextend, and we don't want that. So you just wanna come up to that point where your glutes are locked out, your spine should be neutral, and you're drawing your lowest rib towards the pelvis. Okay, and what we're gonna do is driving those knees out against the band. I want you to hold it here for a minute. I think we've been at about, 20 seconds so far. So squeezing the glutes, you're not using your back at all. You're not curving your spine. You're just squeezing your glutes as if a string is pulling your pelvis towards center. Squeezing your glutes so the spine stays neutral. Drawing in that lowest rib towards your pelvis to support even your internal stabilizers to hug the spine. I think we're at about 45 seconds. If you need to take a break, that's great. Otherwise, we will go for a minute. Make sure your knees are not collapsing in. Spread your toes out. Keeping the weight on the heels, you should feel that translate up into your glutes. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your glutes. It should feel really warm. And we're about a minute and back down. Good job. Okay, next is gonna be a dead bug. So go ahead and take these off. What I want is start off with the opposite hand and the opposite knee. You're going to draw your lowest rib towards your pelvis, closing the gap between your lower back and the floor. You're gonna actively press hard your lower back into the floor. So opposite hand, right hand to the left knee. And what you're gonna do is push your left knee this way. Put resistance with your hand. And all we're gonna do is extend out. Since we're beginners, keep this opposite knee bent. And we're just gonna tap down, making sure that you're actively pressing your lower back into the ground. Okay, and as you get better and you progress, it's gonna look like this, where that leg is gonna extend all the way out. That makes it a lot harder because it's a longer lever. But for now, I want you to start just tapping down with your toe, keeping that moving leg bent. And we're gonna do 10 to 20 on each side, making sure you press hard that left knee into that right hand. Yeah, it takes some coordination. It's gonna take some practice. We're gonna connect the brain to the muscles. We're using our nervous system to connect everything. Let's do 5 more, 4 more. Keep that lower back pressed hard into the ground. You should feel your abs and your core burning. Last 2, good. Last 1. Okay, other side. Take a breather. Shake it out. Okay, so left arm presses hard into that right knee. Press, press. That'll help you close the gap right here between your lower back and the floor. Your lowest rib draws down hard towards your pelvis. Yes, I know it takes some coordination. So we're gonna take the right arm and just bring it to the left knee. Tap down. This is great neuromuscular coordination. Again, your right knee is pressing hard into your left hand. Your lower back is pressing hard into the ground. Your lowest rib is drawing down to close the space. It's drawing down towards your pelvis. Let's do 7 more. 6. Once you have progressed, you can extend that leg like this, but for now, we're just gonna keep that moving leg bent. 3 more, 2 more. Great. And that's how we're gonna